Hi everyone, welcome to my channel The Perfectly Booked. Today I am going to do a review about the book that I finished reading within 1 or 2 days, and it's a fantasy book, and it has two books actually. The third book is about to be released, and yes, if you have definitely seen the thumbnail, you know which book I'm talking about. It's the Powerless and Reckless. Before I start, I have to say I only finished the half of this book, like 113 pages, something like that. So I will be doing the review of this one also in this video, but it will be in separate ways. Okay. So yes, let's get started. So before we start, I have to say this series is a youth adult fantasy, and I can't say it's entirely fantasy. It can be said as a dystopian series also. This book is really good for beginners. Okay, people who didn't read any fantasy books, people who are new to fantasy and wanted to try something fantasy. Then I think this book is the best book. You know, or people who have only read Harry Potter but didn't read any other books and is thinking about reading fantasy, I think this could be a really good start. I'll be giving the summary and what I think about this book in this video, so stay tuned. This book, Powerless, is written by Lauren Roberts, and it's a youth adult fiction, I have told you, and it's a fantasy also, and it's kind of dystopian because there is trials, games, survival. So yes, I think it is kind of like the Hunger Games and the Maze Runner series. So this is what the book is. I will tell you the basic summary of this book. So there is this two kinds of people in this book. One is an ordinary and one is elites. Okay, so these two are the one you have to keep in mind, because ordinaries and elites are the, you know, kind of religion in this book. Yes, you can say it's a religion because I felt it like it's kind of a religion. So yes, ordinaries and elites are the two kinds of different people. And ordinaries are the people who doesn't have any powers. They're just ordinary people. They don't have any powers or any abilities also. Elites have ability, and their ability is they can turn invisible. I mean, each and every person who are elites, they have this specific ability, different abilities. Okay, and one of them can turn invisible, one can turn into an animal, any kinds of animal, transform into any kinds of animal, one can do illusions, one can duplicate many of themselves, like duplicate themselves many pieces, like 4 or 5 pieces. There is somebody else who also can bring electric shocks and things, thunders and things. So yes, people who are elites, they have special ability, and the king also is an elite. Okay, the king, the prince and the queen is elite. Sorry, a girl named Paiden, she is an ordinary. She is a thief also. She lives in a slum, and she is very poor, and she has a friend named Adena who is a seamstress. So Paiden always steals from people, and they both depend each other. Like Paiden would buy food and give to Adena, and Adena would stitch clothes for her. So yes, it's like they have each other's back. That is how these two are. They're very best friends, and absolutely love Adena also. She's very nice. Okay. The reason I said you have to remember ordinaries and elite is because ordinaries are seen as people who are deceased. I told the king is an elite, and he thinks the ordinary people are deceased and they should be killed. They have some kind of disease, they shouldn't be here. And I think the reason he thinks they has to be executed, killed, is because he thinks that the population of these people who doesn't have any ability would increase. When it increases, it's like they would be a threat to the elite people, right? So that's what I said. It kind of feel like religion. I've not been religious, but I'm just telling, just kind of feel like these two groups kind of feel like religion, and they don't have any specific god or lord they worship on. It's just they are seen as people who should die. Ordinaries are seen as people who should die. They shouldn't live in that place. That's how the ordinary is seen. Okay, so Paiden is an ordinary. She's a very cunning person, and she's just not an ordinary. She's very cunning. She can fool people, not as a thief also. She can lie very nicely. Not that much, but people falls for her lie. That is how half of the book is. Okay. She meets a lot of people who think she is not a simple person. She's an ordinary. Paiden lies to people that she's psychic. In order to survive, she has to lie to the people that she's a psychic. And people in that place don't know what a psychic is. They think like it's some special, different, unique ability. So always let her go. they don't try to harm her. It's like she has this power, so yeah, they don't care about her. One day on her usual stealing routine time, she met a man in a hood, and she felt like he looks so rich and expensive. She decided to steal from him because people who look rich has many monies. So yes, she decided to steal from him, and unknowingly he turned out to be the prince of that country. And I told you, the elite, the prince, the king and the queens are also elite. Yes, he is one of the prince. And funny thing is, the one she met is the one and only prince. His name is Malakai or Kai, and he is the one who kills the ordinary. Yeah, the king tells him to kill ordinary people. He would get information about the ordinary people. The king gets information about ordinary people, and he would ask his son to kill the ordinaries. Since he was very young age, he keep on doing this. He has been doing so. He's kind of like death to people. People see him as death and fears this prince so much. And I have to say, Kai Azer has gone through a lot of pain. The amount of torture and pains he has to face to become enforcer. He is also a future enforcer in this book, and he has a brother. His brother's name is Kit, and if Kai is a cold-hearted place, Kit is a sunshine, very cheerful, warm-hearted person. Okay, so but they both are very brotherly. Like they both love each other so much and has each other's back also. Kit always tried to protect his brother. She unknowingly met him. She doesn't know at the first sight that he's a prince, but the instant she saw him, his eyes, he has grey eyes, black hair, and a dimple also. Kai has that. I really like Kai in this book. Okay, I really like Kai. I mean, wow, this is amazing. Okay, so Kai is a very handsome guy, and the instant Paiden saw his eyes, she's like shocked, like she can't move kind of way. Okay, anyway, romance apart, she still steals from him, and he knows that she's stole from him. He's very cunning. He's about to catch her, like not allow her to run away, but she uses her skills, fighting skill, which her father taught her. And yes, her father is murdered. He's dead. And here a very small twist is, Biden thinks her father was murdered by the king, which is actually Prince Kai's father. She hates the king also because he killed her father. If she meets the prince, he will let her go. He was on an journey to kill somebody. His father told him to kill somebody, but the thing was, he could be a cold-hearted person. He kills people mercilessly. He's not mercy to anyone, but he has a bit of mercy to it, a bit of softness in him. He don't kill children. He doesn't like killing children, but he has to take the order of his father, the king, also, who is also the king. So he has no choice. And I have to tell something about Kai's torture. Something how much he was tortured. His father, when Kai was young, his father opened his chest and told him to stitch his chest. Kai is alive, and he itself has to stitch his own chest, which was ripped by his father. His own father opened his chest, and he has to stitch his own chest. And his father is standing in front of him and is watching him. Like it's kind of a game. He has to finish. It's kind of a test. He has to finish. What kind of father does such a thing? This king is really irritating. I really hate this king. Okay, I extremely hate this king. His torture was extremely bad. He went through a lot of torture. People will say Biden is the one who went through a lot of tortures, but I don't think so. I think Kai is the one who went through a lot of torture. The amount of torture he get to become a future enforcer, to get a status in the kingdom, the palace, is huge. It's really extreme. He would allow Biden to go. He would like, it's okay, it's fine, let her go. And the instant she left, a different group of people, they are called silencer. This silencer can silence elites. Okay, I told you elites has power, so a silencer can stop an elite to use their power. It's like it's off button. The silencer can off their elites buttons, like the ability button. Kai meets a silencer who hate Kai for some specific reason. I'm not going to tell you. So the silencer tried to attack Kai, and Biden saw this. She just left only for like few meters, And she see this, she decided, she doesn't know, still doesn't know he's the prince, but decided to help him. And yes, that is when she find out that he's a prince, and she's so shocked. She regret herself for helping him. She really regret helping him. And the next day itself, she find out that she was chosen to be one of the member of a trial, purging trial. It's a competition of elites. Okay, it's like testing them, their powers, how amazing they are. But there is a dark secret about this purging trials, that is, they has to kill to survive. Only one person would be the winner, and the person who is still alive would be the winner. That means technically there will be 3 or 4 tests and 5 or 6 people, and throughout this 3 or 4 tests you have to kill people. I mean, the test is kind of like going to the forest, trying to find a specific thing or that, or trying to find an flag or anything like that. But you have to kill in order to finish that trial. You have to kill. It's like blood game, killing each other to win one trial. It's very bloody game. Yes. She shouldn't be invited to this one, because I told you this trial is for elite. And surprisingly, the prince Kai, he's also there in this trial. And there are some other characters also, but I don't think those character has many skins than Kai, Kaiden and Kit. Kit is the brother, okay, and the future king. I don't think other elites has many big roles in this rather than this 3, because if there is a love triangle or a friend also that Kaiden has, there is no such thing. That's why I think this book is not that great. Oh yeah, this book is not that great for me. I think about telling this later, not now, but I really do this. So, in order to survive, just imagine, I told you she's an ordinary who lies to people and tells that she's a psychic. She just called her death. She just called her death by saving the prince. The king is the one who chose Paden to be in this trial. And this trial, I think 3 or 4 trials are there, and in each of a trial there is a ball party kind of thing. She still decides to go there. She's half happy and half sad, because she is half sad because she has to leave Adena, her friend. Her friend is alone and she doesn't have anybody else apart from Adena. And she's half happy because the king is the one who invited her, and it's a chance to take revenge. He killed her father, and his father was actually once a worker, a member of the royal family. Like, he used to be a healer, he used to heal people, he works in the palace. But some kind of secret, his father was involved in some kind of secret, and that's the reason the king killed her father. But she lost her father when she was extremely young, and she saw the king killing her father, like with her own eyes. She was hiding somewhere, but she really witnessed the king killing her father. So yes, she really hate the king. She's trying to find revenge, and finally she got a chance to do revenge. So will she just decide not to do revenge? No, right? She would definitely do revenge. So yes, she decided to go there. She was really not that happy, because in this trial there are like 90% chance that she will not survive, because she doesn't have any ability. All the others have at least some kind of ability, some kind of manipulating ability, but she doesn't even have anything like that. She just lied that she's psychic, means she just know she can read people just by looking at their appearance and things. If they're wearing a ring, she would know that they are married. If they're not wearing a ring, but still has some mark on the hand, it means they are divorced, that they just got divorced. So that's how she finds about people. That's how she's called herself as a psychic. Okay, she went to the palace. She stayed there. She has to stay there. She can go out. She has to stay in the palace. And then she started training also. Yes, slowly, she started to be closer to Kai. She's not, deliberately being close to him. She doesn't want to be close to him. He's the one who always irritates her, comes and bothers her. He can't stop playing with her. He can't stop toying with her. He keep on bothering her. He keep on coming and irritating her, trying to make her always be that angry bitch. She always threaten him with a dagger, telling that if he tried to do anything, she would definitely kill him. It's like they both hate. It's kind of like enemies to lovers. It's like they both hate each other, but at the end they fall for each other. They just fall in love with each other. That's it. She just can't something is making her fall in love with him. Some kind of force is making her fall in love with him. That's what she felt. That's what she said in this book also. And him also. It's like they knew since childhood. It's like in some way they knew each other. That's how she felt whenever she meets Kai. So yes, there is a very big spoiler at the end. That is the main reason they felt like they are connected. They have known each other before. Yes. So yes, I'm not going to tell that spoiler. It's a spoiler. So spoiler has to be a spoiler. Yes, in between they went through trials. They went through many lies also. They has to kill people. Each and every trial, somebody who was there in that game. The elites. There are many elites. It's not like other elites are not that important to remember. They're not that memorable, there's no many skills for them. They are very rarely appearing all the time. I told you, it's all the time either Kit, Kai or Paiden, and sometimes her father. And there is another kind of group also, which is resistance, who attacks the king. They're actually the mix of ordinaries, elites. There are some elites who think that ordinary don't deserve to die. This disease, it's not any kinds of disease like viruses or things. It's just the king thinks when the ordinaries raises, they would try to, destroy the elites. And yes, they do. I think they do believe in some kind of force who gave them the power. It's called plague, and this is that the plague is the one who gave the elites the power. So the king just think that ordinaries are people who would destroy elites, and he's just ordering Kai to kill them for no specific reason. He's just worried. This part of people called resistance, they know Paiden and they hate the king. And I told you in this group resistance, there are many people, elites also, mundane, that is also another. There are many groups, okay, just like there are many religions, there are many groups, mundane, silencers, healers, there is elites is at the top, ordinary is at the last one. Silencer is somebody who is closer to the king also, but the silencer that Kai met, he is actually one of the member of the resistance. So it's kind of complicated, all kind of these groups and thing. At the end, I told you there is a spoiler. She finds out who killed her father, and she even killed the king also. She kills the king also. But there is a twist about her father being murdered, okay? When the story is about to end, that is when Kai shows his feelings to Paiden. And yes, they didn't get a chance to kiss, and they has to be separated. Some kind of huge thing happens. So basically it has romance, but I think it's a love triangle rather than more spicy romance. Just simple crush and love, like walking with each other, giving a court, leading the lady to the room, taking the lady to the room. No, it's escorting the lady to the room and things like that. Small closed door romance kind of one, but no kisses, no, that's why there is tension. Like when Kai and Paiden is closer, there is this kind of tension that happens, and yes, you will blush also, but not as much as the romantasy books like Akotar or any other book. This book is a blend of Hunger Games, Akotar also, but most importantly, I have to say this book felt so similar like Dance of Thieves. So this book is very similar to Dance of Thieves, which was written by Mary E. Pearson. Mary E. Pearson. And the reason I said this is so familiar is because I read Dance of Thieves. It has 2 books. I read that one before I read this one, and I have to say I absolutely love that book. I read it in PDF. I didn't bought that book, but I absolutely love that book rather than this book. I think the storylines, the female character, the male character has very similar status and personalities also, because I told you Paiden is a thief, and in that book also the female character is a thief, but the difference is she works for the queen. She is a thief in that book Dance of the Thief, but she works for the queen, and the queen thinks people like her are she's kind of like a soldier to the queen. So yes, there is a story behind that, and she is brilliant at stealing. She's a pro at stealing, the one in Dance of Thief, not Paiden. She get caught many times, but In Dance of Thief, the female lead, she never got caught. She's just amazing. Nobody finds that she's fooling them. The way she fools them and steals from them is very smooth, like so smooth. Biden is clumsy, that's what I said. She's clumsy, but the Dance of Thief character is very smooth, and she's super badass. She's like, yes, if she's kidnapped, then she would use her stealing skill to get away from the kidnapper. She's just so cunning and so skillful rather than Biden. And the male character in Dance of Thief is also very similar to here, Kai, but a bit more matured and bit more. I felt the character in Dance of Thief are a bit matured and bit skillful and stronger and badass than this one. They don't have any traumas or anything. I think the female character do have, but in this one both of them has traumas. The both of are like they have some kind of dark secrets also, some kind of traumas and nightmares that they always ends up waking up in the morning. And yes, Biden, if she saw somebody killing someone also, she will get nightmares. It's like she's a very sensitive person, not extremely sensitive, a bit sensitive. But in Dance of Thief, that book and this book is young adult, but I think that is more like what adults would like to read rather than this one. And the only difference I think about that and this book is that book doesn't have any specific magic, just like I told about elites. There is no elites in there. It's just it's more about politics rather than this one, games or trials. They're more political fantasy one rather than something like this. This can be seen as a dystopian fantasy one because I told you there is trials, games, and they has to survive. Both of the book has similar ending, betrayal. This kind of betrayal, okay. And yes, the female character escapes. That is what both of the book also has. In this one also, Paiden escaped from that kingdom, and in that one also she escaped from the kingdom of Jace, who was the character of that book, male character of that book. So I just felt like she copied that one. I'm not accusing her. I just felt this book is so familiar. When I was reading throughout this whole pages, I was all the time thinking about that book. I was keeping on thinking about that book. And the romance also, I think that book has at least 2 or 3 romance rather than this one. So I would give that book, in romance rating, I would give that book 3 and this book 1, because there's not at all that much romance. Maybe 1.5 also, not even 1.5, just 0.5. Because there is no romance in this. There is lots of flirting. He keeps on flirting. He keep on making fun of her by tracing her body and making her feel uncomfortable. She likes it. I really likes it. But in that book, he's so straightforward. Jace is so straightforward. He doesn't hide anything. He doesn't hide feeling. Another thing about that and this book is they both get enstranged, or they both get lost in a forest kind of place, and they has to survive. And in that forest, they has to kill some specific thing. In this one, they has to kill Elite. In that book, they has to kill some kind of creature. And yeah, that's about this too. In conclusion, I'm not that happy about this book. I hear lots of people telling that this book is so amazing. I saw in Fable, Goodreads, Amazon, Instagram, and I even heard many places people telling that, oh, Powerless is amazing. It's just an amazing book. It's going popular and it has been going all over the social media. I have been seeing this all over the social media. And the time when it released itself, I was thinking to buy this book, but I was very hesitant, really hesitant, because I have this gut feeling, or I have this thought in my mind that I won't like this book. I won't like this book. Usually, when the front cover is so attractive, that's when I end up hating the book. Not something like this. No, it shouldn't be like this. Maybe like the Kotar one. That's okay. It's a simple design. But this is so fancy, the gold cover, the black cover, and the purple and the sword. So yes, I was 100% sure that I won't like this book. But still, I keep on hearing about this book. So I was like, okay, fine, I'm going to buy this. Like, that's it. The cover is also really gorgeous, looking so gorgeous. So yes, I'm going to close my eyes. I'm blindly going to buy this, and I bought it. And my gut feeling was true. My gut feeling was right that I won't like this book, and I ended up not liking this book. Okay, so the thing is, I don't hate this book. I can understand this is a youth adult fiction. It's not a romantasy or adult fiction. So I expected it to be a bit disappointing. But I told you, for beginners, it's a really good read. And one thing I really like about this book is her writing style. Laura Roberts' writing style is so amazing. She is amazing at writing. Her style is so amazing. Not the plots and storylines. It can be a bit more improved. it, I think she has the potential to be a bit more pro like one, but the writing style is really amazing. Okay, it's really amazing. I think the reason this book is becoming so popular and people are going crazy and telling that you have to read this book is the only reason is I think it's Sky Acer. He is an exception. Okay, I told you this. I don't like the stories, but I don't like any plots or thing. But I actually like Kai. He's so gorgeous. He has a dimple. He's that guy fallen straight from Wattpad. He's really amazing. I told you he's cold-hearted, but at the same time he has a bit of specks of warmth in his heart, and his jealousy. Oh my god, it's amazing. I'm sorry, too much. I think that is the main reason people are going around telling you have to read this book. Kai Acer is an exception. I started reading this book also. Since I bought the first book, I have to buy the second book. It's my habit. If I don't have the whole series, I'm going to frustrate. I'm going to make a huge fuss about myself and blame myself for not buying the second book. So, yeah, I bought the second book also. And this is the second book, not the Powerful. Powerful is a novella, and if you don't want to read that, it's okay. You can go straight and read this book after Powerless. Okay. So after this one is straight this one, not the Powerful. There is this white book I will show you here. But you don't have to read that. I told you it's not that necessary. Just like Shatomi has lots of novellas, and if you don't read that novella also, it's okay. You know, you would at least know the story, like the whole real story. So I started reading this. I didn't finish. I told you I read till 103. If you read that book only, you would understand what I'm trying to tell about this book. In this book, the thing is, she escaped. I told you she escaped. She betrayed, and Paiden escaped. And this book is dragging till 103 pages. Maybe after 103 pages, it would be there will be some kind of interesting thing, but till 100 pages, so dragging. Half of the 100 pages is about Paiden escaping and trying to survive through this specific place, desert. Then she will reach a town, and she has to hide herself because I told you she killed the king, and the whole place, whole countries, whole different states, and whatever you call it. They know about Paiden. Her picture is everywhere, and it's like it's written that whoever finds her, they will get a huge amount of money, a prize. As whoever finds her, they will get a huge amount of money as a prize. And yes, she has to try hard to hide. There is no this makeup sort thing in this world. So yes, she has to hide as much as she can. And it doesn't mean that she won't get caught. She do got caught, and she has to kill. So far till the page 100, she killed 2 people. Yes, she almost killed 2 people. She really killed 2 people. So again, it's killing, just like the Powerless. In the Powerless, it's always Kai who's killing, but in this one, Paiden started that habit. I have to say, it's so dragging. And so I told you she has to survive, but in other hand, Kai and Kit was having a huge breakdown. They lost their father, and Kit became the new king because he was destined to be the new king, and he became the new king. Sky became the assistant kind of one who listened to the king. He's like whatever the king says, which is his brother, he would do that. And Kit told Kai to do one thing, and that is to find Paiden and bring her to him, to the king. So it's like I think Kit still likes her. Kit really is a different person. He's not at all like his father. If his father thinks the old Nazis has to die and he's not mercy, he's very bad person. Kit is not at all like that. He's really warm. He's very caring person. He really have fallen in love with Paiden, but Paiden has to betray him in the Powerless book. I didn't told that part because it is spoiler. So in this book, Kit orders Sky to find Paiden. He will be going to all the places. There are different places like this, the Scotch. Then there is door. I think she went to the Scotches first, and then to the door. So yes, this is a world called India, and there are many places in Scotches, door. Then there is Isram. Then there is Tango. No? Tando. It's a Tando, right? It's a Tando. Then there is a whisper here. In here there is a. You can see this, right? The whispers and the shallow. So yes, there is many places in this one, like many places. It's a world named India. Many places in this place is in this world itself. He is the king, like the prince, the king of all this place. So this place and town belongs to India, and he is the king of India, which is Kit. Okay, he turned to be the king of India. Finally, he finds her. Kai finds Aiden and meets her. She's disguised as a boxer. She decide to go and be a boxer. She saw an opportunity to make money, So yeah, it's like fighting and in the ring, and people likes watching that, and people bet on them, and if they won, they would get the money, something like that. Okay, I don't know about the stocks and something. So yeah, I think you got it. So yes, she started to. She decided to work over there, and yes, till he finds her. And I told you in the book one, he didn't kill one person that his father ordered, and I told you he don't kill children. The last person his father ordered to kill before the trial was a child actually. Okay, so he let that child go. He let that child to escape him. He lets that child to leave. He told her and her father to go far away from that place, and they went to door. So door, unlike Kai's place, is filled with ordinaries, and it's like when elites came there, they can't use their ability, and they can walk there and be superior and say like, oh yeah, I am an elite, you have to respect me. No, this door is filled with ordinaries, so it's kind of like a place, a hometown of ordinaries. The girl whom Kai decided to not kill, she was there, and he meets her also, and she's the one who takes him to the fighting club, fighting place. It's something I told you. It's something entertaining, and people go there to watch. And yes, she also likes to go and watch from there. And she meets him, and she would take him to there. And yeah, he ends up meeting fighting. That's all I want, right? So yes, I would read the rest of this book, and I would tell. So yes, I'm back. I finished reading the Reckless book, and yes, I'm back. So it took me more than 5 or 6 or 7 days. I keep on not reading because it was so dragging. The story was so dragging. So yes, it took me like 7 or 8 days at least. I think yes, it's 7 or 8 days to finish this book, and it was really dragging. I'm sorry, but it was really dragging, and the reason is because it's a youth adult. As I told, the Powerless is youth adult. This is also youth adult. I mean, it's obvious it's youth adult. There is not lots of storylines and plots, just like Powerless. So yes, I can say this is like a very, very youth adult. There is no too much romance also, like spicy, extreme hot level romance. There are romance, and I think the romance in this book is, you can say like, closed door romance kind of one. That's what I felt. Okay, maybe people would have different opinion about the romance in this book, but this do has more romance and hot scenes than the Powerless one. Okay, because I have told in Powerless, there is only a scene last where they are about to get kissed, but it was interrupted. So yes, they didn't kiss in this Powerless also. There is no kisses, no romance, more flirting and tensions are there between the two characters, and chemistry is also really good in the Powerless. Okay, but in this one, it's more than what is there in the Powerless. I think I would give this a 4 star, not 5, and 4 is also special, maybe 4 or 3.5 in between that one, because I told you I didn't like the book that much. The plots is not there. There is not what I expected, plots and storylines. Okay, and it means in a bad way. I mean, I expected more storylines and plots, but it wasn't there in this book. Okay, so yes, let's do a quick summary. As I have told in this one, Titan escapes at the end because she did something really bad. This book is about escaping, survival, trying to stay alive. Survival, I'm trying to say alive, but it's something like a survival show. if she is trying to survive through the scorch, the desert, then she would end up in a place called Dor. The reason why she is trying to survive and why she run is because she did a big crime. She killed a king, and yes, his people are searching for her because she killed a king. Yes, it's obviously that sentence. Uh, so yes, she's trying to run away, and to be honest, there is a very big surprise in the end. Not just killing, there is another twist also. But to be honest, when I read this one, I saw it coming. The ending, I saw it coming. I was like, yeah, this is what is going to happen. So that's why I got so impressed by this book. And this ending, I never saw it coming. I was like, maybe there is possibility that this is how the book is ending, but there are chances it could be different, because there are obviously many clues and many things about this one. So yes, I told there is no storylines and plots, but this much pages are there. So yes, obviously there are tiny storylines. At least there should be a tiny storylines, or else I would say this book is terrible, right? So she's running away from the people of Ilya, and she reaches in the place Door. So yes, she reaches there. She's safe there, but still there is a thing about Door. That is, I told you she is wanted criminal who killed the king. So yes, her poster is everywhere in Door. She's a person anybody can recognize because she has silver hair and she has blue eyes, so it's very easy to find her. So yes, it's like she just can't hide. She has to try so hard because her hair is like silver hair. It's so obvious. Rarely people have such a hair, or she has such a gray or silver kind of hair. So she has to try to disguise herself and try to survive in that place. Okay, so in order to survive also she has to steal, and yes, she's stealing a lot, and she has to kill also. That is another thing about this. It's not only Biden who went to the door. Kai also went there because he wanted to find Biden, and yes, he would find her. There is a story behind finding, and I'm not going to tell about that thing. He do find her, but ended up getting kidnapped. Both of them gets kidnapped by a specific person whom Biden know in this book. Okay, in the beginning, and they has to try to run away from them. They has to try to escape from their capture, and it's very difficult for them. Try almost died, but Biden tried to save him. It's like they both hate each other. Like when you're talking to each other, when they're talking to each other, they say like, oh, I hate you, I will kill you, something like that. But truth is, they both love each other. That is the truth. Okay, so they has to be enemies. They has to see each other as enemy, but they can't. There is some kind of sparks with each other, and Kai would find out why she killed he killed his father, and Kai also would find out who killed Biden's father. It's like both of their fathers are dead, right? So yes, he would also. I mean, in the Powerless book, Biden would only be the person who knows who killed Biden's father. Kai didn't know because the king is the one who told her, and she's the one who killed the king. So the king told her before the king was murdered by Biden. So yes, only she knows who killed her father. But in this book, she tells the truth. She opens up and tells Kai the truth, so he would know who killed her father. So throughout this war series, they were inside a forest, then cave, then in a very big field, and trying to survive and reach the kingdom. And he is actually keeping Biden as a prisoner, and he's not letting her go. He's always keeping his eyes on her. He even shackled her using something that he stole from the place where they were kidnapped and kept. So yes, it's like his duty is to take her back to palace. He has to do his duty. His duty is to take her back home. And he don't know why Kit wanted her back, kill her or use her or whatever it is. He doesn't know. But Kai is a person who is dedicated to his work. His work is to serve the king. So yes, he has no choice. He has to bring Biden back. But he still wanted to help Biden to escape. So yes, that is how the book is, throughout the whole pages, and that is why it took me a lot of time to read. It was so boring. I told you there is no storyline and prose, and that's why. Yes. So the ending I have to say, it has a huge cliffhanger. When the end came, it's like, oh, yes, I want to know what happens next. That is how I felt. I told you I just didn't like it that much, but the end of this book really is like a huge cliffhanger, and it would make you so curious to know what is coming next, what is going to happen next, because it's something which would make anybody curious to know what happens next. So yes, the ending. I also saw the ending. I was having. I told you I was having. Yes, this would what happened, and yes, that is what happened. So I think that's all about this one. There was no much excited scene that I could talk about. I told you there is romance, there is tensions also, but see, when I'm thinking, I don't have any specific schemes or anything that was so surprised for me. No. So yes, this is for this book. So as I told earlier, this book is actually for youth adult. This book is perfect for beginners. This book are for people who never read fantasy and wanted to try a fantasy. It's not entirely fantasy, because fantasy is more like fairies, dragons and things, right? So it doesn't have fairies or anything like that, but I think it can be in a fantasy category, youth adult fantasy category. If you wanted to try fantasy books, it could be a best option. And people who have read Akota's, Harry Potter, Fourth Wing, Hunger Games, I don't think they would like this one. But if you just wanted, if you have read those books but you didn't read any other fantasies book which I have told, like you have read Harry Potter, then maybe you can try this one. But this is not for me, because I had huge expectation from this. I thought it's something very like Akota, because I absolutely like the first two books of Akota. So I thought maybe that this one would be like that book, but no, not at all like that. Once again, I have to say I love Dance of the Thief than this one. So I would give this a either 3.5 star for the whole series. This one, Fearless, which will be released next year. That's what I heard people telling, and I hope at least it would have a huge storyline. I really hope. Okay, I really wanted a huge storyline. Usually the first book doesn't has. For me, usually the first book doesn't has huge plots or twists, but in the second one, the book would be mind blowing. But in this one, the second book wasn't mind blowing. So I'm really expecting huge plot and storylines in the book. I can say I bought this. I told you I don't wanted to buy this at the beginning, but I bought it just to give it a try. But now I think maybe only the cover is which is really good for me rather than the story. It really has a really nice fancy covers, but not storyline. Laura Robert is a really nice writer. She writes really nicely, but maybe if she could write more plots and storyline, then it could have been a really amazing book. But I told you, her writing style is really nice. Okay, I'm not telling her she's not a good writer. She's really nice. The storyline is really nice, neat and nice. Okay, her storyline is neat and nice, but storylines is different. The book should have many surprise elements and plots and shocking schemes and traumatizing. At least traumatizing schemes should be there, right? It doesn't have any of that thing, and that is what I said. It's not similar like Akota. If you have read Akota, you know how traumatizing and how mesmerizing and unforgettable the book, the schemes and storyline is. It doesn't even has such a thing in the end. That is why I said it's not for those people who have read that kind of fantasies. So that's all for today. I hope you like this video, and if you really likes to know more about book reviews, book reels, book memes and all, do subscribe to my channel. And yes, I'll be coming with a new video, new book review next time. Bye.